Welcome to Epochs Across Eras, your journey through the turning points of world history. Today we begin our deep dive into the Qin dynasty, the force that forged China's first empire. But before unification and emperors, Qin was a rugged frontier state, dismissed, underestimated, yet destined for greatness. How did this distant region rise to overpower its powerful neighbors and lay the foundation for imperial China? Join us as we uncover the early history of the Qin, their military ambition, strategic leadership, and the crucial reforms that launched them from the periphery to the center of Chinese power. In the 8th century BCE, few would have bet on the Qin. Tucked into China's western frontier, they were seen as uncultured outsiders, useful only as border guards against nomadic raiders. Yet within 500 years, they would forge one of the most disciplined, ruthless, and effective states in ancient history. This is the story of a state that used its marginal status to become a war machine, a political innovator, and eventually the cradle of the Chinese Empire. Before the emperor, there was the rise, and it was anything but inevitable. The Qin's origins trace back to the Zhou dynasty, when a chieftain named Feizi earned favor from King Xiao of Zhou. Awarded a small fiefdom in modern-day Gansu, the Qin clan began as frontier wardens, far from the political centers of Luoyang or Handan. Over centuries, they would slowly accumulate power, absorbing local tribes and expanding eastward. The real turning point came under Duke Mu of Qin in the 7th century BCE. He transformed Qin from a regional backwater into a player on the national stage. Through shrewd diplomacy and military campaigns, Duke Mu expanded Qin's territory and prestige. He was even counted among the 5 hegemons of the spring and autumn period, a sign that Qin was no longer to be ignored. Yet despite these gains, the Qin remained culturally distinct from the Central Plains, adhering to harsher laws and a warrior ethos born of constant border conflict. This outsider status became their edge. While other states debated philosophy, the Qin built fortresses and trained soldiers. The next great leap came in the 4th century BCE under Duke Xiao of Qin. Ambitious to make Qin supreme, he invited a legalist reformer named Shang Yang to overhaul the state. The changes were radical and brutal. Shang Yang dismantled aristocratic privileges, centralizing power under the state. Land was redistributed to reward military merit, not noble birth. A strict reward and punishment system replaced old customs. Families were grouped into mutual responsibility units. If one member committed a crime, all were held accountable. The results were astonishing. Qin's agricultural output soared, its tax base grew. And most importantly, its military became a meritocracy. Soldiers were promoted for killing enemies, not for noble lineage. Shang Yang also standardized measurements and laws, making Qin's administration ruthlessly efficient. However, Shang Yang made enemies. When Duke Xiao died, his successor, King Huiwen, whose family had suffered under Shang Yang's laws, ordered him executed. Still, the reforms remained intact. Qin was now leaner, deadlier, and more unified than ever. With new laws and institutions in place, Qin set its sights outward. Its army, hardened by frontier life and empowered by legalist reform, began to dominate weaker neighbors. Fortresses were built along borders. Roads allowed rapid deployment of troops. The Qin even used iron tools for mass farming, supporting population growth and larger armies. One key innovation was military rank based on kill counts, turning the battlefield into a career ladder. Soldiers fought harder because success meant real rewards, titles, land, even noble status. The Qin also pioneered crossbow standardization, enabling coordinated volleys that shattered enemy lines. Qin's military and administrative systems became a war engine. Victory bred more victory. By the late Warring States period, no one doubted that Qin was the state to beat. The rise of the Qin state wasn't accidental, it was engineered. Through deliberate reforms, ruthless centralization, and unrelenting military ambition, Qin carved a path from isolation to dominance. While others argued over Confucian virtue or ancestral rights, Qin acted with brutal efficiency. Yet their rise came at a cost, a society governed by fear, discipline, and relentless state power. Still, this foundational strength would become the springboard for the unification of China under Qin Shi Huang. In our next episode, we follow Ying Zheng, the man who would become the first emperor. But remember, his empire was built on the shoulders of those who transformed Qin from a forgotten frontier into a force that could conquer all of China. Thank you for watching Epochs Across Eras. If you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let's keep exploring the past to uncover the stories that shaped our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring the epochs that define us all.